Recorded live from the dungeon, this is the Dream Warrior Review, and I'm Kurt Thomas.
And coming at you live from the hills of Tennessee, straight from his Tennessee Hyundai,
I'm Mick Strawn.
Mick Strawn.
So, I want to say that my daughter, both of my daughters, my 6-year-old and my 2-year-old, are into gymnastics, and my 2-year-old was doing gymnastics today, and she was wearing these pants that my wife bought her, and on one knee it says girl, and on the other knee it says power. So I think that's a good segue into the movie we saw.
It is a good segue into the movie that we saw. It is. And I might say who the biggest girl power on this. Did you notice who the executive producer was? Margot Robbie. It was all girl power.
It was awesome.
It was an awesome film. I mean, I got to tell you, the thing that she did, which was so clever, because when I saw Suicide Squad.
Yeah, which I didn't see.
I saw Suicide Squad, and I tell you, the only thing that was worth it was Margot Robbie. I mean, and she wasn't in it very much, and it was like when she came on, the screen lit up, and then the screen went away, and
yeah,
and what they did is then they built around her color scheme. They built around the look of the park was, and there was something very old-fashioned about the stunts and the fights on the show.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It was like the first Batman movie almost.
Right. You know, I mean, it kind of had a real look to it. It wasn't like one of those fantastically bizarre, fights, but it was really well choreographed. I mean,
well, yeah, there was one fight in particular that was really awesome with the hands and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And there was somebody that showed a superpower, and I didn't know that we were doing superpowers in there.
Speaking of her, oh my God, I think from my point of view, I thought she stole the show a couple times, and I was like looking at her, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Journey Smollett. Or it's Journey Smollett Bell now. She's married, but no, she was. I remember her from the Cosby Show. Like back in the day, she was doing one of the Cosby shows, and she started in television.
Oh wow!
But I remember her as a little girl, like acting with Mr. Cosby. And I think she was on Full House. Yeah, she was on Full House for a while.
Yeah, really. I did not recognize her. I was just blown away by how good she was, and how good the stunts were, and how good the action was perfect. It was absolutely continuous, and here's the thing: is Margot Robbie has got such a cool character going.
Yeah, I mean, totally.
She really like. I mean, one of the things like all of a sudden in the middle, she said, "Ooh, we should go get pancakes." No, we should get tacos. We got to get tacos. In the middle of like this outrageous fight scene. It's just and she does it so convincingly.
Well, do you know what's great about this too? It's so I think what I liked about this is what other people might hate is that it was really messy. The whole story was kind of all over the place.
No, it was it was one of those things where I knew when I sat down that all I wanted to see was what Margot Robbie was doing with this role, right?
Right, yeah.
And I didn't care how purely whacked out it got, because I kind of expected it if she was to do her job right.
Right.
It had to be that whacked out. You know what I'm saying?
And then he had Ewan McGregor acting like a total douche, which he did really well.
Right, he did. Yeah, no, it was absolutely everything that I wanted from it. It was. The thing that I thought was great is whereas Joker was, to me, basically just one character's angst going on and not not a strong particular story. This one had about 14 stories going at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what was great about it. And then Rosie Perez took kind of a back seat to everything. But
right. Yeah. It was like really. Yeah. It's funny when I saw that Rosie Perez was in it, I thought, oh, well, she was going to have a really strong role. And she wound up really not having a strong role at all because everybody else was just, she was being upstaged by a little girl. At one point, I was like, wow. But also, the thing the absolute perfect things are the look of everything and the look of Harley.
Yeah.
And there was a scene where I can't remember which character turns and goes, I can't believe that bitch changed her shoes in the middle of that fight.
When did she have time to do that?
When did she have time to do that?
Oh, yeah, the scenes with the roller skates during the fight scene were pretty cool, too.
Oh, yeah, the whole roller skate thing.
Do you know what really scares me, though, is like Harley Quinn reminds me of girls that I've dated in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, we are here.
Storytime with her.
I won't mention any names. Well, let me just say there was a girl I dated that told me one time she got pissed off at somebody for taking her parking spot, so she slashed the tires. Oh. So she, that girl in particular might remind me a little bit of Harley Quinn.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I love the part where the thing that's great is she's so hated by absolutely everybody in the film at the very beginning.
I was wondering, were there any people hating her through the whole thing? I don't know, but at the end.
Yeah.
Not to give anything away.
It was, yeah. You mean left?
Right. I guess everybody's afraid of her at some point.
Yeah, it was amazing. The look, the camera movements, and there was something kind of there's something a little bit old fashioned about it.
Yeah. No, one thing I like about DC, so this is what I like about DC when it's done well, is that it's darker and it's more violent usually than Marvel is.
Yeah.
And I think they're starting to take over if they continue. I mean, they're kind of hit or miss lately, but I did like Wonder Woman. I think that new Wonder Woman looks pretty awesome. And Lego Batman, I mean, come on.
Yeah, Lego Batman was the best.
They had some great fight scenes.
Will and Will Arnett is absolutely the best Batman.
Exactly.
and he's never even put the cloak on.
Maybe they should have him do it because Ben Affleck didn't cut it.
Yeah, really. What was that all about? Yeah. So. Anyway,
speaking of Ben Affleck, did you see that his acting debut is coming up in that movie? The heavy serious acting where he's going to act drunk and then I think he might actually be. It might be his acting debut. I don't know.
You think so, huh?
I'm feeling confident about it. Sorry, I got on a Ben Affleck tangent again. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was. You know what? Ben Affleck comes up, and I don't think that he brings out the best in you.
No, not really. I just hope I don't meet him, and I hope he doesn't listen to us.
Yeah, there you go.
It's all in fun.
You know what? There was one thing about the line between miniatures and optical and CGI was really interesting on this one because I couldn't tell sometimes what we were looking at was a combination of models and CGI. Like I was thinking particularly of a couple of big explosions at the beginning. They were just great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What'd you think about this set? There was one set I didn't really like that much. It was in a bar and they had mannequins involved. Kind of, I don't know. It was very distracting to me. It didn't really seem to fit.
I thought that once the set that I really liked was when they got into that, the old amusement park.
Yeah,
all of that stuff was really cool.
And speaking of models, right? I mean, there were some models in that one for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, for sure, there were definitely models in that. But also the way people were moving, I was trying to figure out what was full size and,
Right.
what wasn't, and it was tough to tell. And they kept throwing so much stuff at you, so many ideas and so many different kinds of fight, and oh man, it was just really amazing.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was like one of the best movies I've seen this year. Well, maybe I would say that a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna stay up there. Is what I'm saying. Because I think it's above average, but I loved it, so I don't know what to say.
Yeah, yeah, it was flawed, but you know it was flawed in the way that it would have to be part of Harley Quinn's world. Ooh,
Right.
See what I did there?
Whoa.
See that? Whoa.
Wow, somebody's had their coffee or
Flaws
whatever.
is the basis. Flaws is the nature of reality within a given world.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, we don't do that kind of
Ouch.
show.
My brain hurts.
I mean, you've scoffed at me for bringing up French cinema before, so.
As well I should. As well I should, damn it.
Actually, that's another thing that's fun about, speaking of, no. Well, anyway, I won't bring out any old French cinema, but what I like about this is that you're rooting for the bad guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you are.
Like, I don't think I ever really root for the Joker when I see him in Batman movies. So.
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't even root for the Joker in Joker.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't. The funny thing is I think that this film, to me, was the antidote to having Joaquin Phoenix put me through Joker.
Right. Yeah. Well, the only thing I think this movie could have been is I think they should have been more. They should have gone farther, like maybe not so PG-13. I don't really know how I'm putting that. I don't know. I'm not saying nudity, but maybe just more violence.
Well, there certainly was an awful lot of
There was.
give a fucks.
Yeah.
and a lot of cartoon violence. Yeah.
But I mean, isn't Harley Quinn pretty brutal though? Like in the comics,
Oh yeah. You know,
like even Deadpool was more violent. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
right?
Like,
No, absolutely, you're right. But here's the thing: the thing is you're writing a line here because there's something incredibly charming about her portrayal of Harley Quinn. So the Harley Quinn in the comics, even the look and the smile is more evil looking.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is not an evil-looking Harley Quinn, you know? It's an overdone, cute, kind of looks like an anime character.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I thought. It was more fun. It was a fun take on her.
Yeah, it's a fun take on it, and I really appreciate that, you know, as opposed to Joker's dark, you know, take on, you know, on the big boss, the Mr. J.
And if you want to be blown away, look at her Margot Robbie's like resume on IMDb. It's pretty wild.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean it's just a weird mix of stuff, like Bombshell, you know.
Oh yeah, right.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
What was
Peter
she?
Rabbit.
What role was she in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
She was Sharon Tate.
She was Sharon Tate, right?
Yeah, Mary Queen of
Right.
Scots. She played Queen Elizabeth. See, it's like,
Yeah, man, what a resume.
and
Yeah.
apparently it's been announced that she's playing Barbie doll,
Barbie?
the actual doll. Yeah.
Really?
It's a live action Barbie film. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
that's wild.
That's disturbing.
It is disturbing. maybe that's bringing this one to a close here because I don't know what to think about that one.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Do we have any announcements or anything?
Do we have announcements?
No, we never rated this. I'm going to give it a 3.2, 3.3. Two bottoms.
I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I liked it more, and I'm gonna jump it up to about 3.7.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Journey Smollett kind of. Yeah, I was gonna give it a 3, but I was like, oh no, I got to give it a little round number like 3 if you turn it on the side. Well, anyway, I won't talk any farther. But so anyway, sorry, I was geeking out there.
Yeah, you are geeking out. So
speaking of announcements,
yes.
We're making progress on a certain project.
You are?
Yes.
Yes.
Of a name I don't want to say out loud. It's kind of like Voldemort. No, it's I think we're calling it Behind the Screams. I think
Behind the Screams.
Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I did want to talk about that. I was going to say that we have got we're going to have some character studies out this weekend.
Yes.
And we'll start to get a feel for how the animation is going to go.
Well, let's hope this guy is all that we hope he is.
I think he is. Yeah. I'm curious because I really want him to go out and kind of I want to see somebody else's interpretation of what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I've
to me that's
seen this guy's stuff. You've seen this guy's work, right? Well,
oh yeah.
I mean, it's like his take on SpongeBob, for example, was very interesting.
His take
and Aquaman.
His take on Aquaman was the best. Yes, Aquaman was that was pretty cool. I really liked that. His take on Home Alone was the best.
I don't think I saw that one.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, yeah.
I was going through a lot of his stuff, but I didn't see that one, I don't think.
Yeah, that's pretty entertaining. It really is. It gets awfully violent really quick.
Right.
But the thing is I think he's going to be just what I wanted to get was somebody that was a little bit edgier, somebody that I would more have a tendency to have to rein in then I would have to push him to the edge, you know?
Right, yeah.
I didn't want to have to push him to the edge. I wanted him to find his own edge.
You have to talk him off the edge. But away from the edge, I should say.
But yes, it's true. But one thing that's great is that, and I hadn't thought about this before, but as I'm telling these stories, I have real people that, I mean, there was a certain question there is, are we going to make these real people look anything like the
real people?
The real people.
Right.
And I actually sent him all the photos that I could find of all the people at that time.
Oh, that's awesome.
so Rachel Talalay and the two of the best are going to be Rachel Talalay, skinny little creature with these enormous red-rimmed glasses, you know, and Rennie Harlan with his dopey, really long, blonde, Swedish-Finnish hair, right? You know, that's that right there. You know, and me and most everybody is going to be rocking porn stashes. You know, because it was the era of the porn stash, you know?
Yes, cool.
Cool. Well, that's us for this one.
Yep.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Dream Warrior Review podcast. Don't forget to tell your friends about us, follow us, and, of course, like us. We can be found on Podbean, which is an amazing app, YouTube, Stitcher, Alexa on any pod, iTunes, Google Play. We're on Twitter as well, at DW Review, and, of course, Facebook. You can find us there. You can also email us at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com.